Welcome to The Umber Light of Floating Cairns, a soothing audiobook designed to guide you into a state of profound relaxation and restful sleep. If you are enjoying this tranquil journey into the Azure Expanse and wish to explore more peaceful soundscapes like this, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Before we ascend into the skies among the floating cairns, we will begin with a gentle breathing guidance to prepare your mind and body for peaceful rest. If you'd prefer to drift directly into the story of Elian and the Whisperwind, chapter timestamps are available in the description below. Settle into your most comfortable position, allowing your body to relax fully. Feel the support of your bed or chair beneath you, and let your muscles begin to soften. Adjust your surroundings to ensure you are warm and cozy, ready to be enveloped in tranquility. This is your space for quietude, a time to release the day's concerns and invite serenity into your evening. Allow the gentle umber light of the cairns to wash over you, guiding you towards deep peace. Let us take a calming breath together. Inhale slowly and gently through your nose, noticing the air as it fills your lungs, bringing a sense of freshness and ease. Now exhale slowly through your mouth like a quiet sigh of contentment. With each breath, feel any remaining tension melting away like ice under a warm sun. Imagine the vast azure sky above you, clear and open, and visualize the soft umber glow of the floating cairns radiating peace. Let these serene images fill your mind with tranquility and stillness. Should your thoughts begin to wander, that is perfectly natural. Simply observe them without judgment, like clouds drifting across the sky, and gently guide your attention back to your breath or to the soothing sound of my voice. There is nothing you need to do but listen and allow the story to carry you towards restful slumber. Feel the gentle rhythm of the Whisperwind as it ascends, the quiet strength of the ancient cairns. Allow these calming sensations to ease away any worries, any tensions, any lingering unease. Let yourself be carried by the serene wonder of the Azure Expanse. Now, let us begin our journey in the umber light of floating cairns, where gentle skies and ancient stones await to guide you into a deeply peaceful sleep. Chapter 1. Ascent to the Azure Expanse. Elian moved with a quiet purpose through the valley village, the early morning air cool and crisp against their skin. The scent of lavender, drifting from overflowing garden borders, hung sweetly in the air, a calming balm to the senses. Each step on the cobblestone path was deliberate and unhurried, mirroring the peaceful rhythm of the dawn. Around them, the village began to stir with gentle sounds, the clinking of buckets at the well, the distant lowing of livestock, a soft murmur of voices carried on the breeze. The Whisperwind awaited patiently at the edge of the village, its silken sails furled like resting wings. Elian ran a hand along the smooth, polished wood of the airship's hull, feeling the cool, solid texture beneath their fingertips. The faint, almost imperceptible hum of the engines was a gentle, reassuring presence, a promise of the tranquil journey ahead. Preparation was a ritual of peace, checking the lines, adjusting the ballast, ensuring every detail was perfect, not for speed, but for serenity. Climbing aboard, Elian settled into the pilot's seat, crafted from soft woven reeds that conformed perfectly to the body. The village, nestled in the valley below, looked like a watercolor painting, soft greens and browns blending seamlessly. With a gentle touch, Elian initiated the ascent, the Whisperwind lifting smoothly, almost effortlessly, into the air. The sensation was less of rising and more of floating, a gentle upward drift into a world of endless blue. As they ascended, the sounds of the village faded, replaced by the soft whisper of the wind against the sails. The air grew lighter, thinner, cooler, carrying the crisp scent of distant snow-capped peaks. Below, the landscape unfolded like a calming tapestry patchwork fields, meandering streams reflecting the pale morning light, clusters of trees casting long, gentle shadows. The world below seemed to breathe slowly and deeply, mirroring Elian's own breath. The clouds began to gather at eye level, soft pillowy formations of white and gray, diffusing the sunlight into a gentle, all-encompassing luminescence. The Whisperwind drifted through them effortlessly, like a silent ship navigating a sea of cotton. Visibility softened, edges blurred, and the world became a realm of gentle gradients and diffused light. A profound sense of quietude settled, a stillness that resonated deep within. Breaking through the cloud layer was like entering a new dimension. Above was the Azure Expanse, a vast, breathtaking expanse of pure, uncluttered blue. The sun, now higher, cast a soft, diffused light, painting the sky in gentle hues of azure and cerulean. The feeling of being suspended in this endless blue was both liberating and deeply grounding, a paradox of freedom and stillness. Looking back, the cloud layer stretched out like a vast undulating white sea, separating the world below from this ethereal realm above. There was no horizon, only the seamless blend of sky and cloud, a gentle infinity unfolding in every direction. The Whisperwind drifted onward, a solitary vessel in this boundless expanse, guided by the promise of the Umber light. A feeling of anticipation mingled with a deep sense of calm. A journey into serenity had truly begun. The gentle rocking of the airship, the soft whisper of the wind, the boundless blue around all combined to create a sense of profound peace. Elian closed their eyes for a moment, breathing deeply, allowing the tranquility of the Azure Expanse to settle into their very being. The ascent was more than a physical journey. It was a gentle unfolding of inner stillness, a preparation for the deeper peace that awaited among the floating cairns. This journey was not about reaching a destination quickly, but about savoring each moment of the ascent, each gentle shift in light and sound. It was about finding peace in the simple act of drifting, of being present in the vastness of the sky and allowing the quiet beauty of the world to soothe the soul. The Azure Expanse welcomed Elian with open arms, a realm of gentle wonder and profound tranquility. The gentle hum of the Whisperwind became a lullaby, the vastness of the sky a comforting embrace. As Elian continued their ascent, they felt a sense of letting go, releasing the weight of the world below and embracing the lightness and serenity of the realm above. The journey to the floating cairns was underway, a journey into the heart of peace itself. Chapter 2. Sighting of the First Cairn. Days drifted by in the Azure Expanse, marked by the gentle rhythm of the Whisperwind and the ever-changing canvas of the sky. Sunrises painted the clouds in soft pastels, sunsets in warm golds and roses. The air remained consistently still and clear, carrying the faintest scent of ozone, a freshness that invigorated without being sharp. Each day unfolded with a languid grace, a gentle, unhurried passage of time. During these tranquil days, Elian's routine was simple and soothing. Waking with a soft dawn light, they would brew a warm tea, the subtle aroma of herbs filling the cabin. Gentle stretching exercises followed, movements as fluid and unhurried as the drift of the airship. Days were spent observing the sky, reading from well-loved books, or simply sitting in quiet contemplation, listening to the soft whisper of the wind. As the days turned into nights, the stars emerged in their full glory, unmarred by any earthly haze. The constellations blazed with a soft, steady light, ancient patterns in the vast celestial tapestry. Lying on the deck of the Whisperwind, wrapped in a soft blanket, Elian would gaze upwards, feeling a deep connection to the cosmos. The silence of the night sky was profound, broken only by the occasional soft creak of the airship's timbers, a comforting sound in the vast stillness. Then, on the morning of the fourth day, as the sky began to lighten with the faintest hint of dawn, a different kind of light appeared on the horizon. It was not the sharp, bright light of the sun, but a soft, diffused glow, a gentle umber luminescence that seemed to emanate from the very fabric of the sky. It was faint at first, almost imperceptible, like a whisper of light in the vast Azure Expanse. Elian adjusted the Whisperwind's course slightly, drawn towards this gentle glow like a moth to a flame, but a flame that promised warmth and peace, not danger. As they drew closer, the umber light grew stronger, resolving itself into a distinct shape against the brightening sky. It was massive, impossibly large, a stone island floating serenely in the air, the first cairn. The sheer scale of it was breathtaking. It loomed in the sky, a testament to ancient times and unknown origins, its weathered stones radiating a palpable sense of age and stillness. The umber light seemed to emanate from within the stone itself, a soft, pervasive glow that bathed the surrounding air in a gentle warmth. The closer they got, the more pronounced the stillness became, a quiet that seemed to absorb all other sounds. The Whisperwind approached slowly, respectfully, as one might approach a sleeping giant. The air around the cairn felt different, thicker somehow, imbued with a profound sense of peace. The gentle rocking of the airship lessened, as if even the air currents were calmer here, closer to the stone island. The vastness of the Azure Expanse faded into the background, replaced by the immediate presence of the cairn, a world unto itself in the sky. Details began to emerge as they drew nearer. The texture of the stone, weathered and marked by time, yet somehow smooth and inviting. Patches of moss clung to the surface, soft green against the umber stone. Grasses grew in crevices, swaying gently in the almost imperceptible breeze. The cairn was not barren stone, but a living, breathing island of peace, suspended in the sky. A gentle landing plateau became visible, a grassy expanse near the top of the cairn, bathed in the soft umber light. Elian guided the Whisperwind towards it, the airship responding with a quiet grace, as if sensing the sanctity of this place. The approach was slow, deliberate, savoring each moment of the final approach. The scent of damp earth and sun-warmed stone, carried on the still air, grew stronger, more grounding. As the Whisperwind gently touched down on the grassy plateau, a profound silence descended, deeper than any Elian had experienced before. It was not an empty silence, but a full, resonant quiet, humming with an inner peace that vibrated in the very bones. The umber light enveloped them, soft and warm, a gentle embrace. The journey to the first cairn was complete, and the exploration of its profound serenity was about to begin. Stepping out of the Whisperwind, Elian took a deep breath, filling their lungs with the still, umber-lit air. The feeling of the soft grass beneath their boots was grounding, solid. Looking around, they saw the vastness of the cairn stretching out before them, an ancient stone world bathed in perpetual peace. A sense of profound welcome washed over them, a feeling of having arrived exactly where they were meant to be. Chapter 3: Exploration of the Stone Island. The cairn unfolded before Elian like a gentle labyrinth of stone and grass, path winding between moss-covered boulders and small groves of wind-sculpted trees. The umber light diffused evenly across the landscape, casting soft shadows and highlighting the textures of the ancient stone. Each step was accompanied by the gentle crunch of grass underfoot and the soft rustle of leaves in the almost still air. The silence was a constant companion, a comforting presence rather than an absence of sound. Elian began to explore without a map or a plan, drawn simply by the gentle pull of curiosity and the pervasive sense of peace. Paths led to unexpected clearings, revealing small pools of water reflecting the umber sky, their surfaces undisturbed, mirror smooth. The water was clear and cool, inviting a gentle touch. Dipping a hand in, Elian felt a soothing coolness against their skin, a refreshing contrast to the soft warmth of the air. Moss grew thick and velvety on many of the stones, inviting touch, a carpet of soft green that softened the edges of the ancient rock. Running a hand across the moss was like stroking a soft fabric, a gentle, tactile pleasure. Small wildflowers dotted the landscape, their colors muted and soft pale blues, gentle yellows and muted purples blending seamlessly into the overall serene palette of the Cairn. Their scents were subtle, sweet whispers of fragrance carried on the still air. Higher up on the Cairn, the views expanded, revealing the vastness of the Azure Expanse, stretching out in all directions. From this vantage point, the Whisperwind looked small and distant, a tiny speck of silver against the umber-lit landscape. Yet, there was no sense of loneliness, only a feeling of being deeply connected to the Cairn, a part of its ancient peace. The horizon was soft and blurred, the sky and stone blending seamlessly at the edges of perception. Elian discovered small caves and alcoves within the stone, sheltered spaces offering deeper stillness and a cooler shade. Entering one of these alcoves, they found a small, naturally formed stone seat, perfectly positioned to overlook a small valley within the Cairn. Sitting here, the silence deepened, and a profound sense of tranquility washed over them. The stone was cool and smooth against their back, a solid, grounding presence. Time seemed to lose all meaning on the Cairn. There was no urgency, no need to rush, only the gentle flow of moments unfolding in peaceful succession. Elian spent hours simply observing, listening, noticing the subtle shifts in light, the almost imperceptible movements of air, the quiet hum of the stone itself. Each detail was a small piece of the Cairn's overall tapestry of serenity. As the day deepened, the umber light intensified slightly, casting longer, softer shadows and imbuing the landscape with a golden hue. The air grew subtly cooler, carrying a hint of damp earth and the faint, sweet scent of unknown blossoms. The Cairn seemed to sigh softly, a gentle release of the day's accumulated warmth. A feeling of gentle tiredness began to settle in, a pleasant weariness that promised restful sleep. Elian found a sheltered spot beneath a large overhanging stone, a natural haven offering protection from the gentle elements. Here they prepared a simple meal, the quiet sounds of unpacking and preparing food breaking the silence without disrupting it. The scent of warm food mingled with the earthy fragrance of the cairn, creating a comforting and grounding aroma. The act of eating became a mindful practice, savoring each taste, each texture, in the profound stillness. As twilight approached, the stars began to appear, first faint whispers of light, then gradually growing brighter as the umber light softened further. Sitting by a small, carefully constructed fire, the crackling flames a gentle counterpoint to the vast silence, Elian watched the stars emerge, feeling a deep sense of connection to the cosmos and the ancient peace of the cairn beneath them. The warmth of the fire radiated outwards, a comforting presence in the cool evening air. The cairn, bathed in starlight and the soft glow of the fire, felt like a sanctuary, a place of refuge and profound rest. The exploration had been gentle, unhurried, a journey inward as much as outward, and as night deepened, a deep and peaceful sleep beckoned, promising to restore and refresh, surrounded by the ancient stillness and the umber light of the floating cairn. Chapter 4. The Cairn's Gentle Wisdom. The night on the cairn was profoundly still, the silence broken only by the gentle crackling of the embers from the fire and the soft rustling of unseen nocturnal creatures in the grasses. The stars blazed overhead, a vast and brilliant tapestry woven across the inky blackness of the sky. The air was cool and crisp, carrying the clean, fresh scent of night and the faintest hint of wood smoke from the dying fire. A deep, restful quiet permeated everything, inviting a surrender to peace and slumber. Elian slept deeply, dreamlessly, lulled by the profound stillness and the gentle embrace of the cairn. Waking with the first hint of dawn, they felt refreshed and renewed, as if the cairn itself had replenished their spirit. The eastern sky was beginning to lighten, painting the clouds in soft hues of rose and gold, a gentle promise of the coming day. A feeling of quiet anticipation filled the air, a sense of new beginnings unfolding in the serene light of dawn. Rising slowly, Elian stretched, feeling their muscles awaken gently, without stiffness or strain. The air was cool against their skin, invigorating and clean. The scent of damp earth and morning dew hung in the air, fresh and revitalizing. A sense of calm energy flowed through them, a gentle readiness for the day ahead, unhurried and peaceful. Walking to the edge of the plateau, Elian watched as the sun began to rise, casting a soft golden light across the cairn and the vast Azure Expanse beyond. The umber light softened further, blending seamlessly with the emerging sunlight, creating a harmonious palette of gentle hues. The world felt newly born, washed clean by the night, ready to unfold in peaceful beauty. The stillness of the dawn was profound, a moment of perfect quietude before the day's gentle unfolding. Returning to the embers of the fire, Elian rekindled the flames, adding small pieces of dried wood, listening to the soft crackle and hiss as they caught alight. The scent of wood smoke rose again, mingling with the fresh morning air, creating a comforting and grounding aroma. Brewing tea, they sat beside the fire, watching the flames dance and listening to their gentle whisper, savoring the warmth and the quiet company of the dawn. As the sun climbed higher, the umber light seemed to recede slightly, allowing the natural colors of the cairn to emerge more fully. The greens of the mosses and grasses, the muted browns and grays of the stone, the soft colors of the wildflowers. The landscape revealed itself in gentle detail, each element contributing to the overall tapestry of serene beauty. The warmth of the sun grew stronger, bathing the cairn in a comforting embrace. Elian spent the morning in quiet contemplation, wandering the cairn's paths, allowing their thoughts to drift and settle like clouds in the peaceful sky. They noticed the subtle details, the patterns in the stone, the textures of the mosses, the delicate forms of the wildflowers, each a small wonder in the larger landscape of serenity. The cairn seemed to whisper its wisdom in these subtle details, revealing the beauty of stillness, the power of quiet observation, the peace found in simply being present. Sitting beside one of the clear pools of water, Elian watched as small insects skated across the surface, their movements delicate and unhurried. The reflection of the sky in the still water was perfect, a mirror image of the vastness above. The gentle murmur of unseen water within the stone was a subtle, soothing sound, a constant undercurrent to the profound silence. A sense of deep interconnectedness arose, a feeling of being part of something larger and more peaceful than themselves. As midday approached, the umber light seemed to glow from within the stone again, intensifying slightly, as if the cairn was breathing in the sun's energy and radiating it back out in a gentle, calming luminescence. The air grew still and warm, carrying the scent of sun-warmed stone and dried grasses. A sense of profound contentment settled over Elian, a feeling of being completely at peace, completely at ease in this ancient, serene place. The cairn offered no grand pronouncements, no dramatic revelations, only a gentle, pervasive peace, a quiet invitation to stillness and contemplation. Its wisdom was not spoken but felt, absorbed through the senses, imbued into the very being. And as the day continued to unfold in its gentle, unhurried rhythm, Elian understood that the true gift of the cairn was not something to be found, but something to be remembered, carried within, a quiet wellspring of peace to draw upon long after they had descended from its serene heights. Chapter 5. Descent and Remembrance. The final morning on the cairn dawned with a soft, melancholic beauty, the umber light gentler than ever, as if bidding a quiet farewell. A faint mist clung to the grasses, shimmering with dew, and the air was cool and still, carrying the scent of damp earth and fading night. A sense of peaceful completion settled over Elian, a feeling of having received the Cairn's gentle wisdom and now ready to carry it back into the world. After a final quiet breakfast by the embers of the fire, Elian began to prepare for departure. Each action was deliberate and unhurried, a mindful closing to this chapter of their journey. Packing the Whisperwind, securing the lines, ensuring everything was in its place, was a ritual of gratitude, a silent thank you to the Cairn for its profound serenity. The gentle movements were grounding, connecting them to the physical reality of leaving, while the peace of the Cairn lingered within. As the Whisperwind was made ready, Elian took a final walk across the grassy plateau, tracing the paths they had walked, revisiting the small pools of water, touching the moss-covered stones one last time. Each step was a moment of remembrance, etching the Cairn's serene beauty into their memory. The silence seemed to deepen further, a profound farewell, a promise of lasting peace. Standing at the edge of the plateau, looking out across the vast Azure Expanse, Elian felt a gentle sense of release, letting go of the Cairn, knowing that its peace would remain within them. The umber light bathed the landscape in a soft farewell glow, a final embrace before departure. A quiet gratitude welled up, a thankfulness for the gift of stillness, the wisdom of silence, the restorative power of profound peace. Climbing aboard the Whisperwind, Elian settled into the pilot's seat, feeling the familiar comfort of the woven reeds. With a gentle touch, they initiated the descent, the airship lifting smoothly, silently, into the air. The feeling was less of leaving and more of carrying the Cairn with them, its peace now a part of their very being. The gentle downward drift was soothing, a gradual re-entry into the world below. Looking back, the Cairn receded slowly, gradually diminishing in size, its umber light softening and fading into the azure sky. It remained a beacon of peace on the horizon, a silent promise of serenity in the vastness of the expanse. The memory of its stillness, its gentle beauty, its profound quietude would be a constant companion on the journeys ahead. The descent was a gentle return, carrying the light of the Cairn within. As the Whisperwind descended through the cloud layer, the world below began to reappear, gradually resolving itself from the soft blur of clouds into distinct shapes and colors. The landscape unfolded anew, washed clean by the morning light, vibrant and fresh. The valley village, now closer, looked welcoming, familiar, bathed in the golden light of the rising sun. The air grew warmer, carrying the scent of valley flora, a gentle return to earthly scents. Approaching the valley, the sounds of the village began to reach them again. The distant murmur of voices, the gentle clinking of tools, the soft sounds of daily life unfolding. These sounds, once barely noticed, now felt richer, more vibrant, imbued with a new appreciation, born from the profound silence of the Cairn. The return to the valley was a gentle homecoming, a re-engagement with the world, carrying a deeper peace within. Landing the Whisperwind gently in the valley, Elian stepped out, feeling the solid earth beneath their boots, a welcome grounding after days in the sky. The village looked vibrant and alive, bathed in the fresh morning light. The scent of lavender was stronger here, richer, a familiar comfort. The world felt new again, seen through eyes that had witnessed the profound peace of the Cairn, a peace now carried within, ready to be shared. The journey to the floating cairns was complete, but the journey of remembrance, of integration, of carrying the Umber light within, had just begun. Elian turned to look back at the Azure Expanse, imagining the cairns drifting serenely in the sky, silent beacons of peace, and smiled, knowing that the tranquility they had found would remain, a lasting source of calm and strength, a gentle light to guide them on their path.